May we humbly request the Mahabharami, the great perfections, to preside over our declaration of all the renunciation and revocation from all groups of beings in all realms of existence, from the deluded desires and expectations towards all the sensual pleasures, satisfaction in shapes, sounds, smells, tastes, and touches, all about relationships, ways of living, satisfaction with mental elements, and all about the aesthetics, which are the instruments of the slackness of the mind. May all such deluded desires and expectations of the past be declared removal and cancelled from now on. May we also declare the renunciation and revocation of the deluded desires and expectations towards valuable offerings, treasures, properties, the elements of earth, air, water, and fire, the worldly ways of living, which are the causes of greed, causes of all delusive attachment, causes of deluded possessiveness. They lead to be unable to let go of and unable to leave them. May we declare the removal and cancellation of all deluded desires and expectations towards honor, fame, grandeur, embodiments of powers and blessed fortunes, with lots of followers and ambitions. May we declare the renunciation and revocation of the deluded desires and expectations of the past lifetimes from now on and forever. May we forever be aligned with the giving and sacrifices and dedication with extensive and limitless blessing beings in this elemental world, according to the great perfections. May the great perfection please preside over our declaration of renunciation and revocation from our karmic habits and characteristic traits. And may each of our forgiveness statements also be accomplished for each of our pledge from now onwards. Ahosi, Ahosi, Ahosi for all the karma of leading anyone, misleading anyone to fall into infatuations and being in doubt with anything in sounds, smells, tastes, touches, and shapes. In all relationships towards one another, between each other, and all the statuses that we have made up as a bondage with fathers, mothers, sons and daughters, husbands and wives, relatives, friends, enemies, those kind supporters, ancestors, families, societies, small and large, countries, nations, homelands, global connections, and so on. And all the concepts of living lifestyles, ideas to live, doctrines, dogmas, belief values, traditional values, customs, traditions, all the values given to anything forming up and be deluded to all of that. May we declare removal and cancellation of all of this as well, of this delusion, these delusive attachments and the desires to gain, to get, to have, to be, to become, or not wanting to gain, not wanting to get, not wanting to become. All of these still wanting, still trapped within, become a slave to the desire. Like in this world and samsara, they are trapped, whether they are humans or non-humans, trapped in the habits of maintaining, sustaining that which is unable to maintain and sustain, that which is ungraspable, that which is unattachable. Wanting more of this and that, endless wants, endless desire, like never be full. Whether it is about worldly or dharma. This is greed. Greed in worldly ways, greed in spiritual ways. This is karma. Karma overlaying the life. Karma overlaying dharma. As this greed leading towards aims, methods and ways to gain, to achieve, to attain. There is the desire, wanting to liberate, wanting to be enlightened, wanting to not attach. All these wants, the desire, the cravings, is never full, never have enough of itself. And this is the force that is misleading everybody in the samsara, except those who are already enlightened and blessed beings. May all cases of karma that block all beings in the samsara be released and unlocked from now on. Ahosi, Ahosi, Ahosi. So let's open up, fully open and scatter the infinite force. How to fully open? The mind is not focusing on anything at all. It is scattered through the sentence. Everything is from that which has nothing to do with involvement or non-involvement. Everything has nothing to do with letting go or not letting go. Fully open and scatter this infinite force into all and everything. This is not an imagination, not visualizing anything. When fully opening, it means that the mind is not grabbed on anything at all, on any objects, And it is extensive, further and further limitlessly. And the background of this giving is from the great compassion. This is not about oneself. And by extend this infinite force, it is clearing out the habits of taking, wanting, craving for anything whatsoever. It purifies all types of minds that grasp, that want this and that, endless wants. So let's send out, together with the sentence, the reminder. Constantly use the reminder, the self-purifying reminders, because these reminders leave no traces of karma, and they help the mind to open up as well, further than anything. And always give time to open, so that it can purify the mind and all the effects of the mind in the space, far and wide, opening far and wide, not holding on to any particular object at all. That is fully open. That means it's not with any object. The mind or the knowing, it just incorporate with the great compassion. Everything is from that which has nothing to do with attachments, detachments, or non-attachment. And boom, sending out all at once, powerfully, extensively, limitlessly, boundlessly. No particular objects in the mind. Then it can be fully opened and fully purifying. The looking, seeing, knowing, tasting, touching, smelling, hearing, listening, all of these is part of the action of the mind, of knowing, acknowledging. But don't try to focus on anything. And extend further out the infinite force. Not grab on any particular things. Widen out, widen out, widen out, 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 out. Dispersing. Do not look at particular object either. You have to enable to know how to send out the infinite force. Once you get to enable to do that, it will be a purification. And all your actions will not be the same anymore. It will not be forced by much of the desire and the delusion. This is clearing all delusions simultaneously. And in any conversation that we make, we will not try to get anything from our conversation. Let everything be. Let everyone be. Those who are coming across with this blessing, they will pop up. They will emerge like you. And they are the one that are ready to bless the beings, to bless samsara, and to purify the traits of their delusion. This is not about relationships. It has nothing to do with relationship within oneself and others. Those are part of that which exists from the past, and it is temporary. Temporary compensate to one another. That's all. The mind is formed up, but it has no relationship. It has no incarnation. It has no this nor that. And it needs to be guided through the great compassion only, not guided by the desire, because that is going to be misguiding through the delusion, delusive attachments, wants, not wants, and so on. And this mind is not related to time. Always be as that, which has nothing to do with anything else, or even itself. It just zooms up to be able to help samsara. At this time, we are here. Therefore, keep scattering, dispersing the infinite force. Not to be fixed on any objects at all. When scattering, when dispersing the infinite force into universes, use always the reminders, self-purifying reminders, as they don't leave any traces of karma, and they can help opening they are automatic opening. Everything is from that which has nothing to do with cutting or not cutting, cutting even the cutting itself. Incorporating our actions with whatever we do, together with self-purifying reminders. Fully open meaning not fixing the mind onto anything, dispersing it. And the self-purifying reminders will guide the way. It will definitely not trap the mind. Instead, it's open up, extend itself through the great compassion of the infinite force, that which has nothing to do with being finite or infinite. That's the power. And each time, give time for it. Give time to disperse it. Give time to scatter it. Because its power, its force is greatly, and it can purify all habits of the mind wherever it reaches to. The self-purifying reminders will be heard. Samsara will hear it, and they will follow accordingly. And we need to use forgiveness statements. For example, use forgiveness statements at the working place or where you go. You can do a short statement for the area that you are at. This is the support to unlock the karma of the beings in the area. And the self-purifying reminders will be heard, and that is supporting the mind to open fully. That's our work that is not work. And we keep going like this. We don't have time to be this and that with relationships, especially families concerns here. It's a trap. It's a very big trap in this country and in all countries in the world. No one realized nothing about it. Because whenever it's become a country, become a family, it's about my family, my country. There is a separation and discrimination already in the mind, which actually the mind has no such a thing of separation or discrimination. But when one assumes up things like that, it's lost. That's why it's called a delusion, deluded mind. And that is all over in the samsara. That's why we need compassion and great compassion to clear this delusion. It's a mess, and we have to realize this. It is a mess. And we don't have time to this and that with anything anymore, with anyone anymore. There's no point. Relationships are just temporary to compensate to one another. By what? throwing the mind to each other like that, deluded mind with desire forcing at the back of the mind, and next lifetime is the same, and the next lifetime is the same like this. Let's get over that. That is just deluded. Let's shift it. And to help shift also for samsara, it has to start here. And be diligent to open up, fully open, as you know how already. It is the work of the great compassion, nothing else, not about you or anyone. It's the whole and everything. Everything that is not about everything.